Hello, this is Beau Fox 7 and you're watching No Enemies Here.
Okay, now do another one, but try to do a different feel. Careful. Come on.
Oh, it's still going?
Yeah, do another one.
This is Beau Fox 7 and you're watching No Enemies Here. Hello?
Good. Do another one. I just got foot boogers all over the...
I do?
Probably.
No, I don't.
Foot boogers on my table. Go ahead.
It's not a thing.
I made it up.
This is Beau Fox 7 and you're watching No Enemies Here. What about that?
Try another one. Do total crazy eyes. Remember, you're supposed to defocus.
Oh, yeah.
So defocus.
This is Beau Fox 7 and you're watching No Enemies Here. Something like that. It probably looks stupid.
All right.
That's the whole reason I'm doing it.
Get into the field. Yeah, do another one.
What if we just gave him all of them?
No, he's going to get the best one.
Oh.
Go.
This is Beau Fox 7 and you're watching No Enemies Here. How about that?
All right, now give him one where you're straight up and you're very serious. Try to give one that
Do I still go crazy eyes?
Try one without and then do one with.
Hello, this is Beau Fox 7. You're watching No Enemies Here.
Actually, I like that one. Now do one with crazy eyes.
Hi, this is Beau Fox 7, and you're watching No Enemies Here.
Perfect. Is there any other ones you want to do?
No.
All right.
One of my patrons is a game designer. Actually, quite a few of my patrons are game designers. But this guy never had a game published, and he reached out to me and said, "Hey, I got this game, blah, 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 blah." I had no intention of this happening, and he spoke to me of his game, and I said, "You know what? Why don't you make a video, and I'll put it on. Maybe some publisher's going to check it out, and, pick you up type thing." So here you go. This is Mark Grubich, because I know him by Iron Salamander 8. Mark Grubich and Forgotten World. Look.
Hello, welcome to Forgotten World. I'm Mark Grubich, the creator of Forgotten World. I'm here to present the game in a brief overview so you can understand how it works and how it plays and any of the background information about it. The game is designed for 2 to 6 players. It's mostly for 3 to 6, usually 3 to 4. 2 players works, but there's a slight modification. I actually have a rule sheet just for 2 players for a few modifications to help people gain points and things. But there's not any core changes with those rules. The board is modular, as you can see. It's made up of areas. Each one of these colored groups of hexes are areas. Players put their beachheads, if they have them. Some factions don't have them, which they add a little bit of wrinkle to the tactics of the game. But you notice there's 3 beachhead markers on the outside of the board for the 3 factions in the current game. This is the introductory scenario. This board was pre-designed this way. Normally, you randomly choose where these hexes go. You'll notice that there are several... I've decided to set up a few units and control markers on the board. These small markers, as you'll see here, with their symbols on them, show that you can still control that hex, but there's not a unit there. You notice that, for instance, right here, the green player, which is Bow's automated weapon system, controls this because there's a marker there for that player, but also controls this because they have a unit here. The same here with, for instance, there's a tooth here, which is a Devour unit controlling this crystal hex. A player can come in, when the unit ends its action on an objective at any special location, whether it's an objective hex or a crystal hex, that player will take control of that immediately. However, the control of the abilities, all objective hexes have special ability cards, as I will show you here. As you can see, there's 9. There's 3 of the scientific, which is the ones up top. These are scientific. They're purple and have a beaker. These are population. They're gray and have a person. And these are military. They're red and they have crossed swords. These generally only matter for certain factions. Like, for instance, in this game, the Devourer wants population hexes because he forces the people to work for him. The Devourer is actually a giant fusion plant that wants to be immortal, and it sends its units to make, it needs fuel to win. That's how it gets its points. Destroying and damaging people and forcing people to work for it. Beau is trying to get, and this is Bob's automated weapon systems. Bob wants to make money, so he wants to sell his units. So his units come here, he's an interdimensional arms dealer. So his units come here to fight because he found this is a fantastic place to prove how good his stuff is. However, it doesn't always work to plan. And he can actually, he has a sales pitch track to determine how many points he gets. And when he's doing well, he gets a lot of points. When he's doing poorly, he kind of gets a residual amount of points to keep him balanced. I found through playtest that having a bottom of 0 did not make the faction function very well. The Berserkers, the red player here, just wants to fight and die. They're the only faction in the game that gets points for dying. So attacking them because they have low defense may be a good idea, but it may also backfire, which is one of the choices I like to see. The game is very tactical and not very strategic. And there's a lot of targeted opportunities in the game, but I also like the fact that there are several choices you do need to make, and sometimes I've actually had people realize that the Berserker got a turn, they would win, but if they destroyed them, they would win too, which is always kind of an interesting situation to be in. Now, as you move your units and take, you can go any, you have to start down by where your beachheads are, but once you're there, your units can move or attack or move. You can't move, attack, move, but you can move or attack or then attack and move once you're on the board. When you first have to enter the board, you have to move first, but you can still attack on that turn you enter. So even the very first turn, the very first action by the second player, obviously the first player, may very well be an attack and destroy something. Casualties are very high in this game. When a unit's destroyed, you can just rebuild it. Each turn you rebuild more units. I'll go over real quick here how the turn works. You notice that first you have the action phase. Every player has this on their faction board. Every faction board has all the rules you need for that faction. I'll zoom out real quick. Can't really read it, but just to show you. It also has your resources box up here, which is where you put your command points and any crystals you earn. This glory and death chart is specific to the Berserkers. The action phase. As you notice, you have 3 different actions of Berserkers. You have activate a unit, rapid readiness, and the fire special delivery action. That's unique to you. Most factions have 1 or more unique actions. Several do not, but they have other abilities that may make up for it. The Berserker is the only pilot in the game who has this cannon who can literally fire, that shredder that's in the ammo hopper there, can literally fire a unit at an enemy unit across the board. It's a big nasty attack that, as you notice here, gives them 2 trophies, which is 2 victory points instead of 1. But if you fail, your unit is destroyed, which of course means you could get a glory point. And when you get 3 glory points, you get a victory point. Now once everyone's done taking actions, you can pass at any time, and you do not have to use your command points. Those are not a finite resource. You keep them until you use them. You then go to the logistics phase, and the logistics phase is pretty simple. You will ready your cards, you will then do special abilities, collect income, then you get command points, and etc. Now the command step, you will get more command points if you're not doing as well. The emergency reinforcement step also, if you can complete wiped off the board, you'll get free units. So that's to discourage people from doing that. You will then buy new units. Now you notice you've got, like in this case, you'll notice that, I'll zoom in real close, you get 4 points worth of units. You can also spend more crystals you earn to get more units. And you can build anywhere within your limits of your force. So for instance, if Reaver 1 got destroyed as this player, which I'll go over here, Reaver 1 here, you get to rebuild it again if it's destroyed. You have to have, you can't go beyond the limits of the game. So you have 2 Reavers as the Berserkers. You can't have 3, but you can rebuild the same ones over and over. Now the main focus of the game is combat. You notice that I've decided to put a boss unit here, the Stinger, next to the Reaver, because I'm going to have a little brief combat here. Because if we go to the board, you notice that the Stinger is 2 hexes away from the Reaver. Now I'll go over here and we'll look at their stats. Now the Reaver has 5 attack dice, which is the upper left. The upper right is defense dice, which is 1 in this case. Below the combat dice is the range, which is 3, which like most war games, you don't count your own hex, you count away. So adjacent is 1. Then it has a movement of 2 with a little person running there. You notice it has 5 hearts. That's where you take damage. When those are full, you're destroyed. You will then have a special ability in a box below that if you have any. Not every unit has special abilities. In this case, the Reaver will blow up and damage stuff when it just destroys, so don't stand next to it. You then have its cost in the purple crystal, and then you have the flavor text. Now you notice that there's a distinct difference between the Stinger and the Reaver. The Stinger has a lot of defense and is very fast, but it's weak on attack, and it doesn't take a lot of damage to destroy it. Now the dice are currently color coded. These could be changed because originally the icons were, as you notice here, you've got a triangle and a circle and there's different symbols, a pistol and a wall. That's the icon for that, for pistols attack and the wall's defense, because you didn't want to use a shield because that's what you roll on the die. Because originally they were boxes, red and green boxes, and I had a colorblind playtester, so I had to change that. So in this case you'll notice that we have 3 defense dice for the Stinger and 5 attack dice for the Reaver. So the Stinger rolls its defense dice. Now we rolled 1 success, the other 2 were nothing. Now for the attack dice, you'll notice that you'll see these. So for the attack dice, that's the roll. Now we don't need to continue because it's already destroyed because it took 3 points of damage and it only blocked 1. But you notice you have regular successes, which is a hit, and you have these special, these are crits. These are a hit and they allow you to roll more dice. So in this case, I rolled 2 more. So a total of 4 successes and 1 defense. The Stinger is 2, so it's destroyed, and because of that, the Reaver destroys it, it would get 1 victory point because the Berserkers get 1 point for every enemy you destroy. So they would move on the chart here. They would go from 0 to 1. And the Stinger would be moved from the board. But because the Reaver is not going to be able to move in this case, Bob would leave his marker there. He still controls that. That's a pretty basic, quick and dirty example of how the combat everything goes. Other factions do not do combat as heavily, or they focus on it but in different ways. There are factions that just want to capture objectives or hold them for a certain amount of time. There's a faction that wants to pollute things. There's various other combat's always a focus though, and you will notice that with other factions they don't have as many attack dice as the Berserkers. There's one faction that actually has slightly more, but they have special limits. There's a faction that can appear anywhere it wants. There's a faction that blows up the objectives, and there's all the other kinds of factions. They're all trying to fight over these various tactical regions. There's only a small region of the planet. You're not fighting the entire war with 10 guys or whatever. And the situations are always different. You can have a different mix of factions, and the boards can be set up different. You can have a lot more of these impassable hexes, these black outline hexes. These are, you can't move or shoot through them, and there's only a couple units that have indirect fire, which means you're capable of firing over them. That's a quick brief overview. This is already a fairly long video. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have some interest in it. And it's also available on Tabletop Simulator, so if you wanted to go over that instead of using a physical prototype, that's how I've been doing a lot of testing lately with the stay-at-home orders. So if you are interested in playing it, I'm definitely interested in people to play test it. I'm always looking to play test it more, especially some of the factions aren't tested as much or that are harder to test by myself. So thanks a lot for watching, and have a good day.
If you want to get in touch with Mark, email me at noenemies@videotron.ca. No enemies here. Yeah, it's no enemies here. God, I'm forgetting my own name. No enemies here at videotron.ca, and I'll give you his email because I didn't ask him about showing his email here. You know what I'm saying. People are sensitive. And if you want to play test it, if you want to ask him some questions, if you're a publisher and you want to get in touch with him, email me, please. And I'll forward you his email. All right. Multi-Man Publishing and a magazine in PDF on Wargame Vault called Out of the Attic, issue number 1. This is a long out-of-print magazine. Out of the Attic issue number 1 is now available for purchase, like I said, from Wargame Vault. And Out of the Attic 1 contains 8 articles and 16 scenarios dedicated to, obviously, Advanced Squad Leader, High-Flying Dice Games and Desert Eagles, Air Battles Above Israel, 1948. This is a game designed by Paul Rohrbaugh, and what you get is one 8.5 by 11-inch map, 40 unmounted double-sided counters, and a rulebook. Seeing Red, the raid on Kronstadt Harbor, August 18th, 1919. This is a solitaire game on the British Royal Navy's raid on the Kronstadt naval base during the Russian Revolution. A game designed by Paul Rohrbaugh. What you get is one 11 by 17-inch map, 85 unmounted single-sided counters, and a rulebook. Compass Games! New directions in gaming. Dawn of Empire is an uncomplicated game centered on the naval aspects of the Spanish-American War of 1898 in the Atlantic Ocean. And the complexity is 4 out of 10, solitaire suitability is 4 out of 10, the time scale is 11 days per turn, the map scale is variable, area movement maps, unit scale, individual warships. This is a 1 to 2 player game, playing time is 2 to 3 hours, designed by Steven Newberg. And what you get is a map of the Atlantic Ocean and Caribbean Sea battle board, 1 counter sheet of 176 counters, player aid cards, rulebook, dice, and oh yeah, a box and a lid set. Whoa, they used set. Man, it's getting complicated. War and Pieces was live Wednesday with Rob Oren and myself, and we had a guest, Grant Wiley from Worthington Publishing, and we talked about his games, and it was a great time. Bart Brunchy, the chief of Bonding with Board Games, is reviewing Tranquility Base, America's Race to the Moon by Van Overbay and Worthington Publishing. Now you're probably asking yourself, why does Worthington Publishing have a space game? You know what? I'll give you a tip. Watch the live episode of War and Pieces of May 5th, and you're gonna know why Grant created that game. Tattoo Man AJ Thompson, AJ Toynbee, and also of Hexes and Soldiers. You know, there used to be a Rory Gallagher piece called Tattoo Lady.
Tattoo lady, pretty baby, they're my family.
He's playing Waterloo 1855, the Bicentenary Edition, a game by HEXES called Fallen Eagles, designed by Walter Vedrovsky, I hope I said that right, again published by HEXES. ARDWULF of ARDWULF'S LAIR is taking a look at, he's doing a live play actually of Thunder in the Ozarks by Revolution Games and designed by the Dream Team, Herman Latman, and Fred Manzo with a map by Rick Barber. He's also unboxing Kingdom of Heaven, the Crusader States from Multiman Publishing, and continuing gaming Distance Wargaming. Now hold on a second, I said that wrong. Social Distance Wargaming, Victory Games Civil War by Eric Lee Smith. And also Artie is playing with designer extraordinaire Patrick Mullen on his game A Hot Dry Season, Operation Attleboro, Vietnam, November 1966 by MMP. This is an introduction and playthrough. And Dad vs. Son continues his huge playthrough of Fields of Fire Volume 1, Mission 1T9 a la Moana, a game published by GMT. Marco Omnigamer takes a look at David Townsend's and DVG's publishing of Castle Eater, The Strangest Battle of World War II. Leave it up to David Thompson to find those subjects. Mo of Mo's Game Table is previewing First Strike 62. This is a game by Shoots Games, designed by Bruce Costello.
Hey guys, Dave here. Welcome to Centurions Review, the punk rock band of Wargame review institutions. This week we are not doing a review. Instead, I'll be writing an article. It's either my 5 favorite science fiction war games or it will be my 10 favorite science fiction war games. I haven't decided which yet. But we're doing a first look on our YouTube channel at the Avalon Hill General, Volume 1, Number 6. This one's all about Starship Troopers. It has solitaire rules and an expansion. and a whole bunch of just great articles, and it's just an awesome magazine. And next thing we're doing a first look at is the Special Ops, the Wargaming Journal, Summer 2011, issue number 1. The games in it are Raffia and Savage Streets. Savage Streets is kind of like the postcard game Rattenkrieg, except it's more detailed and has more rules, but it looks like a lot of fun. And the next thing we're doing a first look at is Strategy and Tactics Magazine, number 97, with the game Trail of the Fox, the Fight of Tunisia. It looks like a really cool game. And my friend Len let me borrow Parachutes Over Crete, a Panzer Grenadier game by Mark Perryman. This is put out by Avalanche Press. This is one of my friend's favorite games. I did a first look at it to show you the components and go over the sequence of play and stuff. It has 40 scenarios and stuff, so it looks like quite a game. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys soon on my website and on my YouTube channel. Have a good evening.
The itinerant hobbyist, the robe, Tad, is he's doing a video of Flames of War version 3, first test game, and he asks himself, why? You know, some people enjoy a good ribbing, especially if it's reciprocal, you know what I mean? Back and forth, it's a lot of fun. And some people can't. Hey, we forget the people who can't, right? Okay, Harold Buchanan and I have been emailing each other because he just didn't take me saying something about the food in the US. I know. Hey, I know. US is a diverse country. There's lots of different cuisines that are happening, right? But I wasn't talking restaurant. I was talking cuisine. But anyways, whatever. So, Harold, because I cherish your friendship so much, we were talking, or we were emailing each other, and I said, Harold, the best cuisines are based on the simplest of ingredients. Of course, they must be fresh. That's without saying, all right? That's a fundamental without saying thing. So Harold, I present you Bruno Albuz, who's actually from California. I think he's in San Diego. So, yes, your point is well taken. California cuisine, Michelin stars. But his recipe is called spaghetti, cacio e pepe. Spaghetti, first ingredients, homemade obviously. Cacio, cheese, pecorino romano, and pepper. Italian. For Harold Buchanan, the real deal, Bruno Albuz, taste of Italy, cacio and pepe. Please, gentlemen and ladies, obviously, check this guy out. I got an email from Matt Chestnut, thank you Matt, about a new site, a Spanish site called Julius Fairfax, and he does his top 15 war games, and yes, he has a particular way of grabbing his games. Alrighty. And Jan Heinemann, Let's Play History, I hope I don't mess this up. He's got like, obviously 100,000 videos out, but let's see. He continues playing Fields of Glory 2, and he does a versus in Das Afrika Korps, Trifft ein number 24 Strategic Command, I hope I said that right, and also starts a D-Day am Jewel Beach, Radio General. The man who goes by the name of Jeff plays Europa Universalis, the intro and playthrough, part number 9. Steve Dolges with this massive undertaking of World in Flames, War in Europe. He's in Case Yellow, Part 1. Tim Korchnoi of Bare Bones Wargaming takes a look at the late unpleasantness. 2 campaigns to take Richmond, a game by Steve Rue and published by Compass Games. Tim of Harebrained Games gives us his week in review. Ben Harsh of Harsh Rules, breaking down board games. This week he breaks down with an overview, setup, and rules of Risk 2210 AD. And Harsh. Combat Board Games has taken a quick and dirty review of America Bomber, Evil Queen of the Skies, a game designed by, you know it, Gregory M., the Animal Smith. Love that guy. The original Grognard, the OG, continues with Carrier Battles 4, Guadalcanal, in Part 2. Illuminating Rounds number 18. This is from the ASL Scenario Archive, guys. They're giving us a ASL Masterclass. Seek Out and Play is doing a Stalingrad Inferno on the Volga overview, a game by Emanuele Sant'Andrea, published by Vento Nuovo Games. Rough Swordsman Wargamer continuing his new to solo wargaming segments, and he says, try The Hunters by GMT, Playthrough Part 2, a game designed by Gregory M. the Animal Smith. And the Gentlemen of the Players Aid are unboxing Silent Victory, a game by Constant Press. Excuse me, I should say GMT. Designed by Gregory M. the Animal Smith. JK Wargames is taking a look at Interceptor Ace by Compass Games. This is a review, a game designed by Greg M. the Animal Smith. And Counterproductive Games is playing a game by Jan and Clem of Devil Pig Games called Heroes of Stalingrad. And Dragon Man, he's getting ready to open his museum in Colorado. I think it's in Colorado Springs, and it's a war museum, and if you've never seen this, you have to check it out. One day I hope to go there. Dragon Man. I can't help but mimic what I hear, what stays in my mind, and I don't do it out of malice. It's just, and Dragon Man, you're gonna notice, when he shows you something, he's gonna be like this. And I got this rifle, and it's all live. You see that? And then it came with this cup. You see that? He says you see that. Sure, I see it. You're showing it to me. Dragon Man.
A game for gamers, made by gamers, by Flying Pig Games.
The man famously known as Calandale, Enrico Viglino, reviews Prelude to Rebellion, a game by Compass Games. I was discussing with Rob Warren of War and Pieces about a game. I think I was discussing it there. And Combat came out. Combat from Compass Games. And I thought, wow, that price tag is just out of my league. So I'm gonna leave it at that, I mean, I wanted the game, yeah, but I'm not gonna pay that amount of money for that game. Even though it might be a great game. I'm just saying I don't have the money to buy it. I was contacted by a gentleman called Art. I'm not gonna tell you his last name because I didn't discuss this with him, that I was gonna mention him on the show. And he's an old veteran. He's a veteran. And he says, Dan, I got 2 copies. You want one? Yeah. Art, thank you very much. This is awesome. Thank you. Flying Pig Games and reprint of Old School Tactical Volume 2 and Airborne. Yep, it's being reprinted. Get it while you can. Get it while you can. It's massive, great, awesome production. Plus, those commercials late at night when you can't go to sleep? Not commercials, but those infomercials where they say, If you buy 17 of these knives, we'll send you another 300. It's like I can't believe people fall for that. But if you buy that, this is the add-on. Phantom Division. Awesome. Awesome. That's what I like about our things. For Sage Games and Age of Dogfights, World War I. This is a game by Predrag Lazovic and Dragan Lazovic. This is a father and son team. This will be going on, Kickstarter that is, Monday or Tuesday. Check it out. Easy and deep game. Ages of Dogfights is going to be coming out on Kickstarter either Monday or Tuesday of following this Saturday's program. And Rob Orne and myself and Helen, we did a Kickstarter preview. I'm going to have it on my channel. I'm downloading it now as we speak. Check it out, man. I mean, the guy who made this game, Predrag Lazovic, and his son, Predrag is a nautical engineer. Nautical engineer, I guess. And I mean, the game is simple but really detailed, and I mean, it's a lot of fun. Check it out. You know when Apple, the computer firm, talks to you like this? Yes, and we have now 200 million terabytes of RAM on a small chip, and it is affordable. The Mary and Tom Show, episode 102, where they have nothing to talk about. This is like Seinfeld. They talk about dinosaurs again and going slightly stir crazy, and Peter's grandma's house, I have no idea, but I have to listen to it. And taking off Mary's birthday, that's unbelievable. Plus, a failed birthday surprise. I can tell you, Mary don't like surprises, Tom. Don't do it. And he bought a pizza for you boys! And more stuff. Mauro Faina has a couple of podcasts out. The first one being Blue Water Navy, episode 104, and Board Wargaming in Italy. Another week, another show. Thank you to my two new patrons, Riccardo, the Professor Mazzini, and Mark Grubich, who's a designer, and he's designing his first game called Forgotten World. Hey, check it out. Please subscribe, like, or don't like. Place a vote, do something. Don't remain passive. You know what I'm saying? And support this channel. It helps a lot. I'll see you next week. Have a good week, and be careful of the mushrooms you pick, huh? Careful. Hey, we're picking fiddleheads now. And here they are. We don't have that many, but I'll just show you something. Like you see this fiddlehead over here? I wouldn't pick that one. This one here is fine. There's still the brown there. This one here is fine. There's still the brown there. And how do you pick fiddleheads? Like that. So when you see a plant that has about 5 or 6 fiddleheads, you've got to leave 2 or 3 so it grows back next year. And that's it. Free food. Sometimes you find spots like this. Eh? Look at the eyes. Look at the eyelash. Hey?